Lesson 34. I could see peace instead of this. The idea for today begins to describe the conditions that prevail in the other way of seeing. Peace of mind is clearly an internal matter. It must begin with your own thoughts and then extend outward. It is from your peace of mind that a peaceful perception of the world arises. 3 longer practice periods are required for today's exercises. 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening are advised, with an additional one to be undertaken at any time in between that seems most conducive to readiness. All applications should be done with your eyes closed. It is your inner world to which the application of today's idea should be made. Some 5 minutes of mind searching are required for each of the longer practice periods. Search your mind for fear thoughts, anxiety-provoking situations, offending personalities or events, or anything else about which you are harboring unloving thoughts. Note them all casually, repeating the idea for today slowly as you watch them arise in your mind, and let each one go to be replaced by the next. If you begin to experience difficulty in thinking of specific subjects, continue to repeat the idea to yourself in an unhurried manner without applying it to anything in particular. Be sure, however, not to make any specific exclusions. The shorter applications are to be frequent and made whenever you feel your peace of mind is threatened in any way. The purpose is to protect yourself from temptation throughout the day. If a specific form of temptation arises in your awareness, the exercise should take this form. I could see peace in this situation instead of what I now see in it. If the inroads on your peace of mind take the form of more generalized adverse emotions, such as depression, anxiety, or worry, use the idea in its original form. I could see peace instead of this. If you find you need more than one application of today's idea to help you change your mind in any specific context, try to take several minutes and devote them to repeating the idea until you feel some sense of relief. It will help you if you tell yourself specifically, I can replace my feelings of depression, anxiety, or worry, or my thoughts about this situation, personality, or event with peace. I could see peace instead of this. This is a really big one that I come back to quite often when I do need to look at the world differently, to look at a situation differently. And then I could see peace instead of this. The workbook is teaching us over and over in various ways the law of cause and effect, that all thought, all thinking produces form and effect at some level, that healing and transformation must begin with our thoughts and then extend outward. This lesson says peace must begin with our inner thought, our inner world, and then extend outward. I could see peace instead of this situation. We have to remember that we don't want to bypass what is happening in the meaningless world. We want to look at it and see that that is the effect of personal and collective, chaotic, fearful thinking. And that we as miracle workers, we're not going to bypass what's not peaceful, what's chaotic, and say, well, I could just see peace instead of this and go sit on our couch and eat a bag of chips. We want to transform it. We as miracle workers do not want to be blind and bypass. We are not created to be blind and bypass what's happening in the world. We are meant to see it for what it truly is, to use our spiritual sight, the eyes of love, the eyes of God, the eyes of Christ, and see it in a different way. We must first, as I just said, see it and receive it within our inner world transformed to be able to extend that perception out into the external world. So we don't want to bypass, we want to transform. And here's how we do it. We can't understand from that low-level place of judgment and fear and condemnation and guilt and blame and anger. Because if we stay here, we will make choices from here, from the lower level place of guilt and judgment and anger and condemnation and blame and fear. We don't want to make those same choices, because that's playing with the effect. We want to make higher minded choices. We want to have higher wisdom. We want to be joined with the mind of God, who knows the ultimate, best serving, most helpful solution for everyone involved in a situation. So we ask to be lifted above to that place. Please show me how to see this differently. I could see peace instead of this. You want to make decisions from your miracle mind, from that elevated, lifted place of compassion and love. Until you get to that place of loving alignment, where you're even willing to see someone or something in a different way, to see it differently, then you are not going to be effective at shifting the external, at any kind of transformation, because your internal world, you are still at the effect of the chaotic situation, or the guilty perspective, the guilty thoughts, the condemning thoughts, the angry thoughts that you are projecting onto someone. The miracle worker cannot be effective at transforming their life and transforming the world if they are still at the effect of lovelessness and chaos and fear. You cannot make miracle-minded moves if you are not in your right mind. You get to understanding by getting back to your right mind, by realigning with love, getting to that higher place, joining with the mind of God. You ask yourself, what am I thinking about this situation that God would not be thinking? Definitely not. And what would God be thinking about this person or situation that I'm not thinking? That one will get you every time. That'll just put you right back in alignment. Remember, as miracle workers, we aren't bypassing. We're taking all of this in so that we can be transformative. We want to be miracle ready. That means in our right mind more often than not, and to be aligned with love, to be joined with the mind of God, to be ready and willing and able to work miracles and give love in the world for those who need it. We want to be available for God. We're on call 24/7 to work miracles, and it's up to us to stay in that ready position in our right mind, aligned with love, so that we can hear the voice for God and take on those assignments whenever they arise. Remember, this lesson, which can be really taken out of context sometimes, is not bypassing what's happening in the world. We are seeing it from a powerful perception so that we can then transform it. We are not denying what's not peaceful in the world. It's messed up. I can see peace instead of this does not mean we just sit there like, no. The miracle is the peace of mind we get from first realigning with the mind of God. The miracle is the peace of mind we get. I can see peace instead of this. You don't want to be triggered by the non-peaceful things that are happening. That's what I keep saying. The miracle worker is not effective if they are at the effect, if they of the chaos and the drama and the pain and suffering. You see it for what it is, but you are unbothered and unshaken. Remember I said, if we make decisions based on our fear, the results of our decisions are going to be fearful. So if we're like, oh, it's so chaotic, what do we do? We cannot be transformative. We cannot be miracle workers in that energy. That's not the energy of the miracle worker. The miracle worker sees it and knows, okay, that's not right. That's not loving. There has to be a better way, and realigns with the peace and the presence and the power of God within them. And from that place, you are guided in ways to work miracles and find solutions and help transform what is not loving, what is chaotic in the world. But you cannot be effective if you're at the effect of it. You must take this step first. Otherwise, you're going to bring more chaos to the situation, and it's not going to help. Step one as the miracle worker is inner alignment. Getting back into your right mind, your miracle mind, so that you can be miracle ready. Step two is the outward expression, miracle working, giving and expressing love. You cannot be effective as a miracle worker and bring love and bring peace in the world if you are still at the effect of your chaotic thinking and perceptions about someone or something. This is what the workbook is helping us to practice every day. I'll see you tomorrow.